up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Monroe, and I am back again with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Before we even get into the video, y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Hit that subscribe button. In today's video, this is gonna be, I think this is my first story time. Yeah, this is my first story time on my channel. Today's video, I'm gonna be telling y'all the story of my first time eating at Eddie and how I had a bad trip. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk no more. We're just gonna get straight into the video. Okay, so this story takes place when I was in the 12th grade, and I had like edibles and stuff before, but this was like the first time I ate a lot, like enough to really get high. Like before, I would just eat a little bit and only like feel it a little bit, but this time I really felt it. So I was in the 12th grade, and me and my friend, we're gonna call her TT. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but we're gonna call her TT. And this boy that was her friend at the time, that is actually my ex now, because we actually ended up dating, but her and him were just friends. Like they were like brother sister friendship type thing. But we're gonna call her TT. We're gonna call him Patchy. We're gonna call him Patchy. So we have TT and Patchy. So after, when she sees the full story time, she's gonna know what story this is. So hey girl, if you're watching. But so me and TT, we were all seniors, and we had a half day. So like what that meant at my school was, for the regular school day, it's four classes like each day. But when you're a senior, if you like have a job or like you're in a program or just, and like you have like all of your credits and stuff set up, you can have a half day, which means you only go to school for 2 periods. So we left at like, we got out of school at like 10:40 in the morning. Like we didn't stay the whole school day. But the day that this happened, it was also a half day. So you know how like it'll be days where the whole school is on a half day. So because that made all the classes shorter, if you had a half day, like if you were a senior with a half day and it was a half day for the whole school, you got out at like, I think like 9 o'clock. Like we got out really early. I hope that makes sense, the whole half day thing. But basically more of the story is, we got out of school very early. We got out of school at like 9 o'clock. And Patchy, he had already had these for a while. And Patchy, he wasn't really like, he didn't smoke. By then I had already been smoking. Yeah, I wasn't smoking like super heavy back then, but like I had, you know, smoked before and had TT. I don't know if TT had smoked before, but TT had an edible before. So it wasn't our first time, but it was Patchy's first time. And Patchy had these for like, he had them for like a good minute. And at this time, me and Patchy were like I said, we ended up like dating and stuff, but we weren't like talking, we weren't friends. I really just knew him through TT. So me and him were not that close. And every day after school, because we had half days, me and TT were both on the same major rec team at our school. So we had practice together and stuff. So usually after school, I would go to TT's house like almost every day. And like sometimes our other friends would come too, but pretty much almost every day, me and TT hung out after school if we didn't have like work or something. I was at TT's house one day. This is before, hold up, let me backtrack. So before the day came when we ate them, I was at TT's house, and she was on the phone with, I'm forgetting the names I gave them. And she was on the phone with Patchy, and Patchy was telling her how he was, I look, he forgot what his reasoning was for like wanting to do it, but he was saying something about how like he was a senior and he had felt like, because Patchy was kind of like, he didn't really do much. Like he was really a homebody. He didn't really, like he never went to parties. He only ever went to like homecoming. But it was like he never went like to parties, kickbacks, like none of that. He was really a homebody. And he was basically just talking about how like his senior year, he wanted to do more, and how he had never really smoked before and like had Eddies before, and he wanted to try it. So he had told TT that he had bought some, but he didn't want to do it by himself. he said that he would get her one, and he had gotten one for, I think he had got it for this other girl that I'm not even gonna get into that story, but basically he had 3. And yeah, I told TT that I had 1 and 1. So the day comes where he's like, he's gonna do it. And it was the day, like I said, it was a half day on top of the half day. So we get out of school at like 9 o'clock. And I didn't know that we were gonna do them today, but like as usual, I was just chilling with TT and we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do after school because we got out so early. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but basically, like I said, we had gotten out of school really early, and that was when Patchy had, I guess, told TT that he was about to try him today. So this was before Patchy had his own car, so I think he was driving his sister's car. But basically, me and TT left school with Patchy, and then we went to he like dropped a couple people off, and then we went somewhere to go eat them. And he had 3, so pretty much he gave each of us 1. So he had 1, TT had 1, I had 1. So mind y'all, it is early in the morning. I have not eaten, haven't eaten anything. Like, I'm taking this, I don't even remember if I had water. Like, it was 9 o'clock. I literally woke up, went to school, and then we went there, and I was only at school for maybe an hour and a half or like 2 hours. I wasn't at school for that long. So we eat the Eddies, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how they were brownies, but you know how sometimes they don't taste good? These tasted like they tasted, I don't want to say exactly like regular brownies, but very close to just like regular brownies. Like, they were actually pretty good. So I ain't gonna lie, I was back there munching. Like, I ate, it was about, how big was it? It was about like this big, and I was back there like crushing it. And I'm not gonna lie, after I had tasted it, like, it didn't taste like an Eddie. So I'm like, okay, like, it's probably some huff. It probably don't got nothing in it, or it probably don't got a whole lot in it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just eat the whole thing. So I eat the whole thing, and then TT's kind of eating hers like slowly. So she was like, dang, like, you finished yours? And I was like, yeah, girl, like, fuck it, like, it actually didn't taste that bad. And so she had gave me a piece of hers, and like a pretty nice size piece. So I had a lot. And then whatchamacallit, and Patchy was kind of like scared to eat his. And then so I was in the back, and then TT was in the front. And it's like, me being me, you know, I was just joking around, and I was like, oh, Patchy, you a lightweight, like, come on, like, eat it. Like, I was just playing. Like, call it peer pressure, call it what you want. I was in high school then, y'all. What can I say? But yeah, I'm like, Patchy, like, eat it. So boom, Patchy finished his, and y'all know how Eddies take a while to kick in. So I really don't know how long it was, but we were just sitting in the car talking. None of us are feeling anything, like, completely normal, fine. We not feeling nothing. So we're like, yo, like, we're hungry. So it is still, like I said, we got out of school really early. So we go to Chick-fil-A. It's like still like breakfast time for Chick-fil-A. So we get to Chick-fil-A, and then he goes to drop us off at TT's house, to drop me and TT off at her house. And we're like in the car, and it's like we're pulling into her neighborhood, and it's like TT's like, she just starts smiling. Like, she was just smiling. I think it hit her first. Now mind y'all, to this day, I still don't know if it makes a difference, but I do think it does. TT is smaller than the rest of us. Like, TT is really short, and she's really petite. And I heard somewhere that does like make a difference in how fast like weed and stuff hits you. But I think that was why I hit her first. So TT's like looking around, and she's smiling, and she started giggling, and like we're pulling up to her house, and I'm like, okay, like, maybe she's feeling it, I don't know. But I didn't know then. So we get out the car. Wait, no, before we got out, I asked Patchy, I'm like, you feel anything yet? And then he's like, no, like, I don't feel nothing. So at first I thought Patchy was gonna come over TT's house too, because like, I'm not gonna lie, TT's house used to be the spot for like all of our friends. Like we all used to chill there, but Patchy had never really been over there, and he also had to go to school that day. And I'm gonna tell y'all what he said happened when he went to school. But yeah, so Patchy has to go to school, so we say bye to Patchy, and I step out of Patchy's car, and it's like, yeah, I take 2 steps. Yeah, I cannot make this up. Cannot make this up. Like, this shit was low-key. Like, I take 2 steps out the car, we're walking, and it's like everything. So like, you know, it's like daytime, like it's like trees and shit and clouds, but it's like everything looks like, y'all ever see like I've never been in the desert, so of course it's never happened to me, but you ever see in movies how like people are like really high and like in the desert and everything just looks like wavy, like they're having a, I think it's called a mirage, they're having a mirage and everything is just like, everything is wavy. Yeah, I'm like everything starts to look like that. And like, so I'm looking and it's like the trees and the cloud, yeah, I swear to God, I cannot make this up. The tree, they're all like just like waving like this, and I'm like, we're standing outside of her house, like in the middle of her porch. Whatchamacallit already pulled off because he had to get to school and everything. He took college classes too, so like when he left our school, like left high school, he would go to like take college, go take his college classes or whatever. So he was going over to the community college nearby to take his classes. So he had already pulled off, and like we're just standing outside of her house, and like I'm just looking, like I'm just like outside her, I'm just standing like this, like still for probably like about 5 seconds, and then I look over at TT and she's looking at me, and like we both look at each other, we locked eyes, and we bust out laughing. Like I'm talking loud, like we were cracking up, like we were walking in, we started walking into the house, we go into her house laughing our asses off, and it was like I was trying so hard to stop laughing, but you know how you be laughing and you just can't stop, and like I don't even know what we thought was so funny. I think it was the fact that like because I think she had felt the same thing I felt, and we both looked at each other right after and like just started laughing. So we go in the house like cracking up, like I'm talking like rolling on the floor, tears coming down, like just laughing. And TT's sister was in there. We're gonna call her Candace. We're gonna call her Candace because I'm not gonna lie, TT's sister used to stitch on us all the time. Like to her parents, she used to always say what we be doing, like what we was doing, even though it wasn't like we was really doing nothing like bad in her house or anything, but she would always look for a reason to try to snitch on her sister. So y'all know Phineas and Ferb, how Phineas and Ferb, when they used to build stuff, and Candace used to always try to bust them, and like she would be like, Mom, look what Phineas and Ferb did. Yeah, so one of our other friends started calling her sister Candace because of that. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna call her Candace in the video. But she was in there, and I'm like, you know, we didn't want her to know, but we could not stop laughing. Like, and we were trying to sit down at the table, but it was like, you ever laugh so hard that your stomach hurts? Like my stomach was starting to cramp up. Like I couldn't, like I was bent over, I was laughing, and I was like holding on to like the table and stuff. And we both like, I swear we were laughing for probably 15 minutes. I'm not lying. Like straight 15 minutes, probably more. Like it might have been 20 or 15, or like oh, that's another thing. When you're high, it feels like time is moving really slowly. So it felt like 15 minutes. Maybe it wasn't, but it definitely felt like a really long time. We were just laughing. And mind y'all, I had not eaten the Chick-fil-A yet. So we were trying to, that's why we were trying to get to sit at the table, because we were trying to eat our Chick-fil-A, because we hadn't. What is going on with my lighting? I'm so sorry, you guys. Because we hadn't eaten it yet. So we're trying to sit at the table to eat it. So, but like I'm already feeling this, and this is off of an empty stomach. So we sit down, eventually like we calm down, and like we just chill out, and we're not really talking to each other. And I'm trying to eat the Chick-fil-A, and it's like, yeah, like I'm holding it and it's like I'm eating it like I'm like this. Like I couldn't stop shaking my hands. Like I was like, I had like the little chicken minis and I was like this. And yeah, and I was breathing so heavy. Like I was like and her sister just standing there like this. Looking at us with a straight face, and it's like, I'm sitting there. Eventually she walks away and I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to eat my eat the little chicken minis or whatever, and I finally bit one. Yeah, that was when I realized my mouth was so dry. Like my mouth was dry and it was numb, so like I couldn't chew it. Like I bit it and it was like I just sat there with the fucking like chicken mini just like in my mouth. Like I couldn't chew it, I couldn't bite it. My mouth was dry, it was numb. Like all I did was like I was just like, kid y'all not, y'all. I was sitting there, I probably looked like a freaking psycho, like just with the half a chicken mini in my mouth, just like. So I bite it, it's in there. Eventually I spit it out. I'm like, okay, I can't eat. So I'm like, so we get up, right? And yeah, we didn't eat it. So we got up, went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror. Y'all, all the times I've been high, my eyes have never been this red. Like my eyes were bloodshot red and I had bags. Like we both had huge bags under our eyes. And like we looked in the mirror, looked at each other and started laughing again. Like we were dying. Like we looked at the mirror, looked at each other, and our eyes was like this. Like no, not like that. Like they were low, because you know how your eyes be low, but it was like we had like these crazy bags and like they were red. Like we were just like with red eyes. They were super low, and I had lashes on too, so they were just like, I had on big lashes because like I used to wear like huge lashes to school. We were just like, but with like red eyes and like these deep ass bags. Like we really looked the best. We looked at each other, started laughing again, like the same way we was laughing before, super hard. Like my stomach was cramping. We were just in her bathroom looking in the mirror and looking at each other and laughing. But see, we got ourselves together and like I was like, okay, like let's just go to the couch. I don't know why. We should have went to her room, but it's like we really did not want to walk up the steps. We just did not want to walk up the steps. So we went to the living room to go lay on her couch, and like we're just laying there and like we're laying there not talking to each other. Like I'm just laying down, and y'all, while I'm laying down, this was like the scariest experience. Like this was one of the scariest experiences I've had being high. This definitely tops everything. Y'all, I'm laying down, right? And my heart, that's all I could hear, my heart beating, and it's beating like I could hear it beating. Not hear, like, y'all ever been to the doctor and they check your heart, and like, have you ever asked them if you could listen to it? I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to ask if I could listen to it. It sounded like that, but without the stethoscope thing. Like I could hear my heart beating, and it was like, so I'm laying on her couch, y'all, and I'm laying there like this. Just not moving, just laying there, staring up at her ceiling like this. I'm just laying there, and it's like, y'all, I could feel like different, like it was like my body was like vibrating. And like the crazy thing was, it started like at my feet, and it was like, and then it would just move up and like go up to my, and then go back down. And I can't even describe the feeling, but it was like this is the only thing I could think of, is to just go like this. felt that all throughout my body. And I'm just laying down, and yeah, my mouth is so dry. My mouth is so dry. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, as I was laying there, it felt like so much time was passing by. Like, it would feel like 45 minutes had passed. I would check my phone, swear to God, it had been 5 minutes. And it really felt like it was like a whole 45 minutes or like close to an hour. Like, time was going so slow. And like, to be honest, y'all, I just wanted it to be over. So eventually, like, we had kind of like calmed down from it. Like, we sat up, looked at each other, and then we was like, we looked at each other, and we was like, dang. Like, she had said, I wonder what Patchy's feeling like. And I'm like, oh shit, like, let's call Patchy and see what's going on with Patchy. So we called Patchy. He's on his way to school, and Patchy well, Patchy was like, he had to ask his sister to drive him. Like, he saw the wavy things too. Like, Patchy was down bad. And it got worse when Patchy got to school. We're going to get to that later. But we're laying down, and I'm still at TT's house. So TT's mom comes downstairs. At this time, TT had worked at a daycare. Me and TT had I gotten fired from the daycare? I don't know. I might have still been working at a daycare at this point. But me and TT had both worked at a daycare. Well, different daycares, because we were in child development together. And TT's mom came downstairs, and, you know, she saw me. It wasn't like I was always there like every day, so like it wasn't a big deal that I was over there or nothing. But usually at this time, TT would go to work, and I would like either call it Uber, like I would go home or something. So TT pretty much had to go to work, and her mom came downstairs, and she was like, TT, like, come on, like, it's time for you to go to work. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, Lord, like, I'm really thinking like her mom's about to realize we're high, because like her mom's not an idiot. Like, I'm like, when she looks at us or sees us walk or do something, like, we're gonna, like, she's gonna know. So I'm laying there, and TT's just like, no, I can't go to work today. She's like, I'm not going to work. And like her mom, like, is just steady pushing it. Like, she's like, no, come on, get up. And her mom, we're on the couch in the living room, and it's like their couches are like in the living room, and then the kitchen is behind us. So she can't really see us, because like, you know how couches have like that back part? It's kind of like covering it, and their couch is like an L shape. So it's like, you know those L shaped couches? Yeah, it's like that. So she can't really see us, but eventually her mom like kind of gives up and just lets her stay there. And I'm like, great, amazing. So I had forgotten that earlier we had told our other friend to come over. We're gonna call her Bam. Yeah, we're gonna call her Bam. So she gonna know this story too. She see it. But hey, Bam, if you watching this, yeah, we're gonna call her Bam. So basically, we forgot that we had told Bam to come over. So I get a text. So like, I get a text on my phone, and it's from Bam, and she's like, hey y'all, like, I'm on the way, I'll be there soon. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, so I told TT, and TT is like dazed. Like, she's zoned out. Like, she's just like sitting there like this. And I'm like, TT, like, Bam said she's on the way. And she's just like, and then I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna go unlock the door so that Bam could come in. And she's like, I was like, okay. So I went to go unlock the door, because I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to take a nap. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go unlock the door, and then when Bam gets here, she could just walk in, because she wasn't that far. So I went to go unlock the door, and I texted Bam. I was like, the door's open, just come in when you get here. And I go lay down. About 5 minutes later, like, I lay down, and it's like, I'm like, I was starting to kind of feel like not relaxed, but I was just like, I wasn't enjoying it. Like, I definitely did not enjoy this, but at this point I was just laying there, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm gonna just ride this out until it passes, because I'm like, this is not gonna last forever. So I'm gonna just ride this out till it's over with. So I'm laying there, and Bam Bam finally gets there, And Bam gets in, and Bam wants to have like a fucking party. Like Bam comes in, she's like, hey y'all, hey, like what's going on, like da da da. And me and TT is just like we couldn't even say nothing. And she's like, what's going on with y'all, like what's wrong, what's going on? And then we didn't even really say anything for real. Like we're just like, we're fine. Like, cause y'all, like it literally felt like everything low-key felt like a dream. Like nothing felt real. My body was vibrating. Like my mouth was so dry, and I was drinking so much water. Like I kept getting up to go get water bottles, and it was not helping. Like I would drink a whole water bottle and my mouth would be dry. She sits down on the couch that I'm on, and like I kind of like just lay my legs on her, and like I'm just laying there like this, just looking up at the ceiling. So Bam is over there, she's chilling, and then eventually Bam, this is her boyfriend at the time. We're gonna call him N-Dog. So N-Dog comes over, and N-Dog comes over, and I didn't even realize that he came over. I had kind of fell asleep, and like I woke up, and there's also like this like little circle couch chair that they have. So he's on like the circle couch chair, and I look over, and I just like kind of wave. Like I'm just like, hey, like, hey. And he's like, hi. And like, basically Bam is still sitting next to me, and I don't know if I was getting hot or if I was sweating or what was going on. But like, Bam just keeps asking me like, are you okay? And oh, no, I know. She said I was shaking. Like shaky. So I was like laying there like, but I didn't know it. Like, I thought I was laying there normally. But she was like, I was shaking. She had told me this, like, the next day or something. Like, she was like, you were laying there like this. Like, you were laying there shaking. So, basically, she was like, I was shaking. And then I was like hot. So, like, she thought I had, like, the chills and, like, a fever put together. So, it's like, I'm laying there and Bam just starts touching my face. Like if she's sitting right here, like, she's just like, you know how people like check your head and stuff. So she starts doing that, and y'all, I'm not moving. Like I'm not reacting to her doing this or nothing. Like I was just like, so eventually, like I guess she was talking to me and I didn't respond. I don't know, but she starts like just touching my face, and I'm not like, I didn't do anything. I was just like, so like imagine you touching somebody's face and they're just like this. So she's like, what's going on? Like what's going on with y'all? And then she's like, no. She was like, what is going on with y'all? What is going on with y'all? And like in the midst of her, like she's doing this, and I just fall asleep. Like, so I was like, she was like this, and I'm just looking at her like this while she's touching my face, and then I just go like, and fall asleep right there. So I woke up. I don't know how long I was asleep for, but I wake up, and when I wake up, she's now on the other couch, like sitting with her boyfriend. I look over at TT. TT is just like laying there on her phone. No, I don't even think she was on her phone, but she was laying there with like her back turned to all of us, and she was like just like this, just laying on the couch. Not paying none of us no mind. I don't know if she was asleep. I don't know if she was up, but TT was over there, and I look over, and Bam and N-Dog, is that what I named him? Well, if not, that's what he's called now. It's the only other character besides Bam and TT. So I look over, and Bam and N-Dog are on the little circle couch together, and they're like, and like Bam is like, hi, like she's talking like all soft, because like I'm not gonna lie, y'all, sometimes she's like the mom of the group, you know. So she's like, hi, like, you know, are you okay, like what's going on? And she's like, and basically she had come to sit next to me again, and she was like, I think you have a fever, like she was like, I think you have a fever, like I think we should take you home or like go get you some medicine or something. But she was like, I think you're sick. And I'm just laying there, and I'm just like I just kind of nodded. Like I was just like, okay, but I didn't say anything to her. And then originally N Dog, like he was like licking me, and like I like look over at him and he starts laughing, like, and it was because he could tell I was high, but Bam just thought like I was sick. Like she really thought something was wrong with me. Like she was low-key really worried. And he just started laughing. Like he was like, yo, like y'all are wild, like y'all are dumb, like why are y'all like, cause him, like he's never, I don't even think he's ever really had like, no he has, but this was before it had happened. So he had never had like a bad trip, and he smoked all the time. So like he's just looking at us like y'all are doing like y'all are doing the most, like y'all are just high, like y'all are being goofy. So he starts laughing. He's like, yo, like y'all are dumb, like what's going on, like calm down. And then he looked at Bam and he was like, Bam, nothing's wrong with her, like nothing's wrong with her, like just let her sit there. Like he was like, just let her sit there. So Bam was like, no, like I think something is wrong with her, like we need to take her, like we need to help her, like Bam really thought I had a fever. And he's like, no, like he's like, no, she's fine. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, it started getting worse. Like the vibrating felt so, like these feelings felt so much stronger. I could hear my heartbeat. And y'all, I thought that like it had been like at least 3-4 hours of me being there. It had been like maybe an hour and a half. Time was going by so slowly, and it felt like I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there like just waiting for this to be over. So eventually, like Bam, he tells her that I'm high. Like he's like, they're just high, like I don't know if they smoked or they, like I don't know what they did, but they're high. And he was basically telling her like it'll go away eventually, they just kind of gotta sit there until it goes away. So what happens? So eventually Bam's like, oh okay, like well, you know, nothing's wrong with, like she realized nothing was wrong with me and that was fine. She kind of laughed it off a little bit. She went to go sit next to him, and you know, so they get up, and it's like I'm sitting there, and like I keep checking my phone, I keep checking the time, thinking that so much time has gone by, and it's only been like 3 minutes or like 2 minutes every time I check, but I think it's been like 20 or 30 or like 40 or something. So eventually, like I'm laying there and I'm like, y'all, like I had asked for a blanket, and I was like all the way like under the covers, like complete like head covered and everything, and like head covered and everything. I'm under the covers just sitting there, and it's like while I was under the covers, mind y'all, I could still hear my heart beating. It's like pumping like this. My mouth is dry, my body's pulsating, and I'm just under the covers in the dark, and I'm like like it's not funny, but looking back it's funny. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was really getting scared. I was really getting scared. Like I'm like, because it felt like it was going on forever. Like it felt like this had been out like hours. Like I'm talking like it felt like 12 hours. Not gonna lie, it felt like this was a really long time, and it had really only been a few hours. So I'm like, yo, like when is this shit gonna stop? Like, and I was like, it's only one person that can help me now. It's only one person that can get me out of this now. Y'all, I started praying. I did, y'all. I started praying. Like I was like, please, like just please get this out of my system. Like I was like, I promise. I said I would never do drugs again. I would never do drugs again. Just please make this stop. Like, yeah, I was crying. I was real live crying. I was under the covers, like just please make this stop. Just please make this stop. Like please make this stop. I was crying. Like I'm not even trying to be funny, y'all. Like I really feel like God looked down and was like, no. Cause it kept going. Like he was like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay, because he was like, you did this to yourself. Like, and I did this to myself. So I had to wait till it was over. And yeah, like I was sitting there crying, like just make this stop. And I think I think TT's mom had left out and had came back, and that was when N-Dog was like, oh, we're like, he had told her mom we're gonna go to Target, because he didn't want her mom to catch on to like that we were high. So he was like, we're gonna go to Target. And Bam was like, yeah, like, let's go to Target, you guys. So eventually, like, they, I guess, wake up TT. I don't know if she was asleep. I really can't remember, but TT was really in her own little world. It's like, we was both having like our own little like tripped out experiences. Like, she was over on her side of the couch tripping. I was on my side of the couch tripping, and N-Dog and Bam was just watching us. And they, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, they was probably cracking up, because we was over like, they said that I was worse than TT. Like, TT was kind of over there chilling, but they was like, I was over there like, it was like, I was like this, like I was shaking, like I was crying. Like, I would get really hot and then really cold. Like, I would be there like they was like, let's say this was the covers, like I would be like this. Like, I was over there tripping. I was really tripping, y'all. So, but we went to Target. We went to Target, and like, we were in the car, like, and we got in the car, we pulled up to Target, and me and TT both got in the back, and N-Dog and Bam got in the front. Me and TT were in the back, and we were both like sitting on both, like on the opposite sides of the car, just looking out the window. And you know how like you look out the window like in sad, like how people do in sad movies, and it's like her head is just on it like that, just staring out the window. Yeah, we were like that. And y'all, we were not far from Target. We were like probably 10 minutes away from it, if even that. It was probably more like 6 minutes away from Target. Within those 6 minutes, I literally forgot where I was. I forgot where I was. I forgot where we were going. Like, I was just so in tune with looking out the window, and it wasn't nothing going on. I was just looking at the clouds. I was just like this. And I forgot where we was going. We pulled up to, I was so confused. And then I looked over at TT. She was just as confused as I was. Like, TT was like, what are we doing? I was like, TT, I don't know. She's like, where are we at? I'm like, TT, I don't know. And then she was like, well, and I was like, well, and we both go right back to look out the window. And we're parked outside the Target, like, and it still didn't register in our heads. Like, she was like, where are we at? I was like, I don't know. She said, well, I said, well, right back to the window. N-Dog looks back, and he's like, what the fuck is going on with y'all? Like, we're at Target. And I'm like, we're at a what? Like, I'm like, when did we say we were going to Target? So at this point, I'm not trying to get out. I'm not trying to get out and walk nowhere, and neither is TT. So I'm like, okay, like, I guess y'all could go in, but I wasn't trying to go in. And N-Dog is just like, no, y'all need to get out. Like, he thought that this was so funny, but I was over there like, we were miserable. He thought that this was so freaking funny. He's like, no, y'all need to get out now. Y'all not about to sit in my car when we go to Target. We came here so y'all asses didn't get caught. Y'all need to get out the car, and we're gonna go into Target. Nobody wanted anything from Target. We literally just like went there just to go there, and cause me and TTA feel like doing anything for real. So we go to Target. Y'all, we get out the car, and like my legs feel like noodles. My legs feel like ramen noodles, feel like oodles and noodles. That's why I used to call them when I was a kid. My legs felt like oodles and noodles. I could not walk. So basically, TT and N-Dog kind of were like walking next to each other, because TT and N-Dog are like walking, and then Bam like sees that I'm struggling, and like she comes and she like holds my arm, and it's like we're walking, and she like I'm looking down, and I'm like watching her feet. Like, y'all, I kid y'all not, it's literally almost like I forgot how to walk. Literally, like, walking through Target, it felt like I could not walk. Like, and we were just going in circles, I think. Like, I don't even know what we were doing. We didn't even buy any. No, we did buy something. We went to that Starbucks, and I think Bam got something from, like, the Starbucks inside of Target. Eventually, we leave Target. We go back to TT's house. And we go back to TT's house. TT's parents are both in there. And by this point, I was kind of starting to, like, I'm not gonna lie, as much as Target did, like, it felt weird walking around. After a while, it kind of helped it, I guess, like, walking and, like, actually doing stuff. Because, like, I realized sometimes when you're high, if you just lay there, you'll feel more high. But, like, if you do stuff, it'll kind of, like, blow your high. Like, it'll sober you up a little bit. But y'all leave me mad. I don't know if that edible was laced or what was going on, but it was something crazy. When we go back to TT's house, and TT's mom is in there, and she's just talking, and it's like I'm kind of just like sitting there nodding, but she didn't realize like anything. Like I'm just kind of like nodding, and I'm just like, yeah, but like it looked like I was like actually listening, but like I was still kind of high, so I was just like, And then eventually, and dog drops us home. Yeah, I go home, go right to bed. No. I got in the house, and it was like, I didn't even remember walking in the house. Like, all I remember was like I got in, I'm pretty sure I got in and went right to bed, because like eventually, like I just woke up, like my clothes were still on, my lashes were still on, like so I must have just came in and like just completely crashed. And then I woke up, and like once I woke up, I like changed my clothes and everything, and then went back to bed like the right way. And then so the next day, like I see TT at school, and like we just look at each other and kind of laugh. Like it was nothing else to really do. Like we just look at each other and laugh. And later on, she had told me what had happened, what Patchy's experience was like. So as I told y'all earlier, Patchy had to go to school. Patchy went to college, so pretty much Patchy went to school, and he was in class, and Patchy's body and that brownie was not mixing well. Patchy threw that shit up in class, like at his big age. Patchy was like 18. Patchy was like, or was he 17? No, Patchy was like 18 when this happened. And he threw up in a college class. Yeah, it wasn't sitting, that brownie was not sitting well with Patchy. That's the story, you guys. That was my bad trip on my first edible. It was like one of the worst. Like I've had other like bad trips, but that one, I think I've had other, okay, that one was the worst physically. Like my body felt the worst physically. The rest were more like mental, like just what I was like just like what I was thinking, like the stuff I was like seeing and stuff. But that one, like my body, like the way my body felt, just like I did not like it at all, like at all. But then after that, all the edibles I had after that, I actually liked them like a lot. I had kind of like got used to them a little bit, and like my body got used to it. But that first time, it was just, it wasn't working for me. But that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss when I post another video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.